Hello, good morning, happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me for another Saints and Angels Oracle deck reading for our week to come. We are at pretty much the halfway point of August now. It is Friday the 15th, 2025, and we are in the theme of strength for this month from traditional tarot's major arcana. And so I think this morning we've had lots of full messages asking us to hold space, to pause, to be patient, to look towards temperance, moderation, compassion, empathy, these supportive integrative gestures that ask us to sit with things, and that's a slice of the pie of strength that I think can be overlooked. It can be discredited or easily sort of lost in the mix of all of the other varieties of strength that we see, that all of them are just as valuable, and all of them also have their own potentiality of duality, right, to be played on either side. And so sometimes we get into things like stagnation in a way that is a blockade or unhealthy, but for me this month, and I feel, that it's been one of those other people need time, I myself, bits of things that I'm working on need a lot of time, I can tell, to come together. But doesn't mean that things aren't meant to come together or meant to work out. And in fact, it could just mean even more that they really are meant to do these, whatever. But there's a space to close between that. It would include, important things to be added before things come together, perhaps. Knowing that, being able to see that bigger picture is such a strong quality. It takes a strong mind. It takes endurance and like the marathon kind of thing keeps coming to my mind over these weeks, honestly, here in August, and the steadfastness of the steady small steps of progress, St. Therese. Not being a card that we've even seen recently, but I'm just reminded of her. Well, we have seen a little. Anyways, to the reading, right? Today's the 15th. We're on a 6th day here in a 9-year. I think it's a good day for a midway reading. And in fact, we're on the second cusp. It's not exactly the midpoint, but it's a little after, right? Well, the 15th, is a midway. But the 6 and the 9, I got caught up in the 6 and the 9. They really showcase the kind of secondary loop of everything that happens after 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5 with changes, right, and integration and external happenings coming in, and then we have that whole 6 through 9 kind of discovery of putting the bow on things, perseverance and mastery and dedication that comes with already having created foundational working on a thing. So we're halfway through the month, and we're in sort of that leg of the marathon that's just, you got to really get into your rhythm and go, because you still have the whole other half to go, but it's been such a long month as well. Time in itself, I kind of have just thrown out the window in a sense, trying to monitor it and live by the structuring of this inorganic ticking clock in my face, you know, the calendar. This is just like mocking me all the time. Cannot be true. It's, you know, in a day I feel like a whole other person, like Alice in Wonderland. You know, it wasn't even the same person this morning. It's been a whole year. You know, but anyways, love to hear if others are feeling the same way. I've seen some other people talking about this kind of thing lately as well. So if you are, know you're not alone. And if you aren't, know you're not alone too, because there's probably plenty of people who are like, what is she going on about? We came here for a reading. So anyways, let's get down to the card and what we came here to hear from our wonderful deck today to see what's in store for our week to come. And welcome if you're new, and if it isn't even Friday, August 15th for you, welcome. This message is for you anyways. So, you'll find yourself maybe in that, like I said in the video just a minute ago, some people are not in the same mix as I am, kind of feeling their time's later or has already come, you know. So if you're in the future here watching this, then, you know, welcome to the party. Time is not linear. We're all here together in this space, enjoying the energies. So let's see what the cards have in store for us. First, I'd like to just do a quick grounding meditation, just to get in the heart center and to quiet down for a minute. Become a good audience, like I like to say. I think I might actually just get my water really quickly. It's just right here. With my Palo Santo going, it's a little dry in the air. So, okay, get comfortable. Feel free to find a comfortable position. This is not going to be hypnosis, so don't worry if you're doing something else. Just be more conscious in what you are doing. Live your life alive. Take in those things that are in front of you. Feel the quality, the textures of whatever you're doing in, you know, in your space right now, and just let the words permeate through as we prepare to hear from our cards. So, for those of us who can, close my eyes down, relax your gaze. Take a few gentle breaths at your own speed. Breathing in the air around you, maybe noticing any sounds, smells, the quality of the air. What does it feel like in your space today? Maybe you're inside or outside. Maybe it's a busy or quiet place. Just take a moment to take it all in as you settle down. We could take all of those thoughts, those sounds, those ideas, the input we're getting from the external world, and make it into like a snow globe. The glitter, the snow, the styrofoam. Shake it up. See it going around and around. Chaotic in every direction. As fast as you can. And then set it down, just as you're sitting down. Perhaps you're inside of it as it's falling around you, landing, quieting everything down. Try to reside in the peace. Breathing in slowly. Breathing in that peace, like you're a screen or filter within that beautiful, peaceful snow globe place. Still as a statue in the scene around you. See those flakes landing upon you even in a comfortable, stoic way. Breathing in that peace, that gentle ease, feeling that watery substance all around you even, holding you in your position, enveloping you in a fluid of love, in air, in nutrients and nourishment. In a substance thick with intelligence, knowing just what your inner world needs. Capture this moment as still as you are, just like that scene in the snow globe. See the image of it like a beautiful picture, glowing with that love in a live type of image that the memory can create for us, that the imagination paints for us, that the spirit dreams for us. See it in your mind's eye, in that place where all things come from first. The most beautiful space, the creation, the vision, source. In its perfection, see you sitting there in your most perfect position. Stillness of reverence, appreciation and gratitude. That is what fills up the snow globe. That is the paint that made the picture. That is the air we breathe. That's the energy that courses through our bodies. That is what the soul flows within and without, in and out, at all times, forever. We sit in the center of it. Take that masterpiece image, this beautiful capturing, place it in your heart center, hang it on the wall above the mantle, where you can always admire it, where all that enter your beautiful sanctuary, all entities who reside there even, can witness and watch it, appreciate it as well, for its true beauty. You don't have to be spectacular movie stars. You don't have to capture some epic occurrence, some very meaningful depiction of actions. A simple sitting in reverence of appreciation, of aliveness, of being, is the most beautiful masterpiece one could ever create, ever be a part of, ever be. So let's spend a moment here together in witness of ours. Each one of us can bring our picture to class and sit down here, knowing that we have open-hearted, welcoming friends from all walks of life, from all over time and space, joining us in appreciation of our masterpieces, of our beautiful love for life, for this creation, for the adventure that it is. And yes, for our simple practice of sitting here as regular people on a Friday morning, coming as we are, being just as we are. Nothing over the top, nothing extreme or overdone. Simple, gentle, natural, organic people. Appreciating the chance at aliveness, the chance at discovery, this exploration of manyness that we are all a part of. I thank you for coming. I thank you for being here, for your expressions and your service to the collective. As I say so much, and I will always say, we would not be the same without you. We could not be the same without you, or I thank you for your service. I'll spend just a moment here breathing in the love. Maybe you'd like to bring your hands to your heart center or in prayer. Feel your body more firmly where you are, rooted in your beautiful space and time. Taking a few mindful breaths on your own time and speed. Preparing to open your eyes. As I get ready to ring my bowl. Take out my deck now, and we will see what our wonderful cards would like to say to us. We thank you, beloved saints and angels, God, Source, Mother Earth, our ancestors, ascended masters, all of those who come before and after us with benevolence and love in their spirits. We thank you for your partnership, for your witnessing, and we ask if you could offer us here on August 15th, 2025, under our wonderful theme of strength, an anchoring point for our week to come, a North Star perhaps to follow, a message through these beautiful cards of support or advice for us individually and collectively. We thank you. Thank you, thank you. Shuffle my cards up here for a minute. I think. Take them down for a second. Oops. It's pretty humid, even with having had my air conditioning on earlier. It's already creeping in. So it's a little sticky, I think. Whoops. Oh. They're jumpy, as am I. I was about to say, I think I'll do a knocking cut, which is, I think, what I will do here. Be brave with our guardian angel. I feel like we've just recently had this card. Maybe not. Oh no, yeah, we did. Back in May. And when I wrote in May, it was a repeat from last month. Okay, so the end, the end of April. So the end of April, the end of May, and now here in mid-August. So interesting. Thinking of different energies at that time. You could think about them as well, things that you might have begun or could be facing, even similar tests or catalytic kind of things that were taking place at that time. I'm like desiring to draw a second card. I think I'm going to ask. All right, in generosity with Saint Nicholas. Okay, so be brave in your generosity and strength and perseverance, right? And the things that I talked about at the start of this card reading, at the start of the video, excuse me, about moderation, temperance, patience, those things of longevity, having generosity in those kinds of times especially, you know, and in the times that we are facing right now, which are kind of hard times, you know, everything's limited and seems restricted. Most seams and hems, seams, yeah, are being like stretched, you know, or broken. It's important to remember to be generous, to still be caring and loving. And it's very hard when everything around us is really signaling us to harden our heart, to close off our space. Because, and especially when we know hard times are at hand, when there's something to last through, when there's the longer view, higher picture, higher sight that comes along with that strength that I talked about at the start of the video, right? But knowing that perhaps it's part of the cycle of seasons where things are less abundant than normal, you know, or not normal, but then the abundant season, you know, there's always give and flow, and there's always back and forth. And so when we fluctuate into these times, say, you know, when winter's coming and you know you've got to buckle down on some of your food, say if you're like, you know, homesteader or a gardener, or you have you do preserves and things like to reserve for the winter, and you have a big harvest, you know what I mean, when you have a surplus, and these kind of things follow suit where you need to reserve things and store for later. The intention that we do that with is, can we bring generosity? Can you be brave and bring, knowing that at all times all things will be provided for, that necessity always gets met, and that if we can delegate and divide between ourselves with caring heart, instead of a strict mind and all this very much measurements that come from a place of fear. We don't want to operate from places like that. We don't want to make choices and start divvying up things from that kind of place, you know, because things get it's very dangerous. We've been doing that. That's been played out. That's so, you know, that's so overdone. That's so 10 years ago. That's, you know, so last fall, whatever people say these days. We really need to get out of doing that, because it doesn't serve anyone. Yes, it's difficult to operate from an open heart space. Yes, it's hard to look at everything and to be responsible and open-minded and productivity focused for the whole, and a holistic view when we look at resource delegation, when we look at time management, when we look at monetary deviation, you know, spending things here and there. It's all of these things. If we could come from a strong foundation of unconditional love, and knowing that as given this life we are abundant, surplus-based energetic beings, who can operate fluidly in a place of positive production, seamlessly, if we choose to, because we have great intelligence, because we understand moderation, modification, process functionalities, and productivity, because we could actually take time to go and look at the pieces and make best solutions for any sort of problems that arise, because we're great troubleshooters, problem solvers, innovators. We're creative mentality of consciousness that's been bestowed upon us, right, as humanity. It's not just tool makers and system builders. We're not just infrastructure, linguistic masters. Yeah, those are tools that we've been given. But it's supposed to come from this heart-centered, holistic view of stewardship, of the family unit, of community and communal service, of free service, dare I say, of unconditional love. And I'm going to get off, but generosity's got me going, and being brave in generosity speaks to me about what I have been sort of grinding my gears on and building out, and in the background haven't really been speaking out about too much. I have here and there, of course, but positive systems, free service, and what that really looks like in the real world, and how I can operate my life from this place. So, yeah, that's wonderful messages. Be brave in your generosity. We have strength as our overarching wonderful message for the whole month. What a wonderful reading. Thanks so much for joining me here this morning for a little bit of a long one. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, beautiful weekends. If you ever would like to leave comments or send me messages, you can always feel free, if you're finding me on Telegram, send me a message. Or leave comments on YouTube or BitChute for others to see. It's always great to see, alive, awake people interacting with positive messages. And, yeah, otherwise, see you next Friday, I hope.